Hi, friends. Dr. Nancy Trimbley here, putting the power and knowledge of your health back in your hands. I have here test results that a friend of mine showed me, and she wanted to have evidence that she had antibodies to COVID-2. She had COVID-2 recently, and if you have anything that is over one part, you have immunity. And now this is the spike protein antibody. And she had 16. So instead of less than one being normal, she had a value of 16, which means she has current antibodies. And a lot of people are thinking, and they're saying that this can get us in, concerts and football games and on a plane, maybe into a restaurant in Italy or France, which is crazy. But I wanted to reiterate to you how fantastic and complex our immune system is. I have a screenshot here, which I'm going to share, which is from, this is an interview with Dr. Crotty. And here I'm going to try to bring up the video so you can see. There is Dr. Crotty. He is from the La Jolla University, is a PhD who is part of the Immunology and Virology Institute, meaning he has dedicated his life to studying viruses and the immune system. And although the reformat vaccine will give you antibodies to the COVID-2 virus, or it's supposed to anyway, what we can see here, and I don't know if, there we go. What we can see here is that Dr. Crotty is talking about these multiple types of cells, one of which is antibodies, but the other is memory B cells. And the really crazy thing about memory B cells is that they will mutate themselves so that in the future, they can combat other types of viruses that might be similar. That's what our fantastic immune system does. And also there's killer T cells, which are created, helper T cells. And Dr. Crotty published an article late in 2020 in November that said that he has found that in the lab that he can see results of immunity lasting 6 months. Now, remember, SARS and COVID-19 was new in 2020. So he was quick to publish in November of 2020 saying that he was seeing immune cell variations of so many different types that he felt confident in publishing that after you've had COVID-19, that you have long-lasting immunity. And I want to now go to the left side of my screen, which was an article that was just published very recently. And this was a study that was done in Israel with 700,000 people over the course of over a year. Let me see if I can find the dates here. Let's see, from March 2020 through February 2021. I'm sorry, that's not over a year, it's just under a year. What they found was that those that had previous infection with COVID-19 had 13 times stronger immunity versus the reformat shot. And I talk about how significant numbers can be or insignificant in my book, Stealth Health. I talk about how you might read that this vitamin showed 13% more protection on cardiovascular. Well, guess what? 13% is very small. That is not significant. But 13 times, that is huge. So this is an amazing published study. And I'm wondering, let me ask you, if you're a news watcher or a headline watcher, or even if you just happen to glance at headlines, did you hear about this? Shouldn't this be significant? Because we keep hearing about, are you vaccinated? Don't enter the store if you've not been vaccinated. Wear a mask if you're not vaccinated. Well, guess what? Our natural immunity is way stronger than the vaccine. And now we're seeing that those that are currently hospitalized, now this is October 2021, over or about half have had the reformat shot. Now, half of them have not, but isn't that just a flip of a coin? It's a 50-50 shot now, which means maybe these reformat shots are not all they were cracked up to be. We were told early 2020 that they were 95% effective. I don't know if you remember this, but in my video, 95% effective being the title, I talk about how that was not a published study. It was a press release. And what happened was Pfizer watched, they had these 4,000 people that they gave the initial reformat shot to. And when they came back 28 days later for the second shot, they saw how many people came down with COVID. That's how they created their 95% effective rate. They studied them for 28 days. They didn't do long-term effects. They didn't study them for 6 months. They looked at the data at 28 days. And this is probably why they didn't publish. They probably could not have published a peer review journal research article with only that length of time. What you also have to remember is the majority of those people did not have the shot. And so their sample size, meaning the number of people studied, the number of people that actually contracted COVID in that 28 days was very small, was only about 400 people. So compare that to this study that came out of Tel Aviv, 700,000 people. This is very good news. So please share this video. Tell all the people that you love that you're watching out for them. And if they've had COVID before, they've got great immunity. Don't need to worry. Still do all the things you did in the past. So during flu season to protect yourself, like don't put your hands on your face, wash your hands when you get home. If somebody sneezes on you, make sure to take some immune boosting supplements. Be sure to get your chiropractic adjustments, just make sure your body is functioning 100% on all levels. So be well, turn off the news, go hug your neighbor. Bye for now.